Foundation for Economic Education editor Brad Palumbo points out that fiscal stimulus reaching $6 trillion, almost $42,000 per taxpayer. But of course, most of it did not go to individuals or households. So Brad joins us now. Brad, you know, in your piece, you point out that government cannot create wealth, not at least out of thin air, and they would have to do three things, right? You cited directly increasing taxes, running up debt, and printing money. Well, the administration and the Federal Reserve are actually doing all three. So the question is, what's the problem? What risk are we inheriting here?
Well, the government is not Santa Claus. I hate to break it to the socialists and progressives of the world, but like you said, the government cannot just create wealth. So everything we're getting in stimulus benefits, whatever we are getting, some of it's been diverted to partisan priorities and waste, like a blue state bailout. But whatever we're getting, we have to weigh against the cost. And can anyone honestly say, we've just hit $6 trillion, that's 42 grand per federal taxpayer, like you mentioned. Can anyone say they got that much in benefit out of all these relief packages? I can't think of anyone who could. So where's it all going? That should raise some serious eyebrows.
So, of course, you say the government can't be Santa Claus, but there's a new philosophy out there, and I'm sure you know about it. It says the government can be Santa Claus, Robin Hood, and the Easter Bunny all rolled up into one. And people now are believing that it's true. What do you say to these philosophies that are emerging that says government can provide a guaranteed income to everyone, that the government can do one fiscal stimulus package every single year, that government can pay off all student debts? Because it feels like this could rule our economic policy in a couple of years.
Yeah, look, it's a dangerous philosophy, and it's wrong on every count. It will lead us into a budget crisis where the entitlement programs Americans rely on go bust, where we start paying trillions of dollars every year in new taxes just to cover the interest payments on our out-of-control deficit and debt. So these people, it's a convenient political spin to say, oh, you know, the scarcity is not real, the government can just pull money out of thin air, but that's not the truth, and most people understand that that's not the truth. So when politicians are telling you that, ask yourself, what are they trying to cover up? And in this case, even PolitiFact, a liberal-leaning fact-checker, pointed out that 90% of Biden's latest stimulus bill is not directly related to COVID. So they're using these philosophies to cover up the fact that they're selling Americans a lie under the guise of COVID bailouts.
Yeah, I got to go, Brad, but I want to squeeze this in and real quick. A lot of folks have been talking about going over this fiscal cliff. Do you think there will be a great epiphany where we stop it, or do we just eventually have to go over this cliff before we learn the hard way?
Yeah, unfortunately, we may have to learn the hard way. I wish we would get our act together now because it is not too late to restore fiscal sanity and stability. But if we don't, we'll learn the hard way and have to do it then.
Well, at least you're young, Brad. You'll be able to recover.
And pay it off the rest of my life.
Thanks. Hey, that's the price of living in the greatest country in the world, my friend. Thanks a lot, and I really admire your writing.